Hi, ahoy there, mateys. It's Captain Triola and his friend Polly. We're going to be using this here video to show me and Polly to show you how to rig up your sail car sail. Alrighty? And because there's two of me, because of a little Seacraft magic, I will be in the video here as well as out there with you right now. Alrighty, so here we go. Get ready for a swashbuckling good time here. Let me adjust the camera, right, Polly? Alrighty, little camera adjustment here. Alright, here we go. A little bit more adjustment. Alrighty, there we go. Now, at this point in time, you be having your sailcloth pattern all drawn out, and you'll be ready to cut it out, okay? So the first thing you want to do is, you want to make sure that your measurements are correct. You may or you may not have your sail car with you. That might be up to your captain. But here's how you set things up. Now, you're working with tissue paper, and tissue paper is very weak and flimsy, and you can rip it and tear it. All right, so here we go. Excuse me. So first thing you want to do is cut the outside perimeter. All right, now when you're cutting it, save your cloth in case you have to make repairs out at sea. So you're going to cut the perimeter of the larger triangle you made. There we go. Be as neat as you can. And cut along here too. Okay. And there you go. Okay, so once you got your sail cut out, all right, it's good to go. All right, now when you're ready to put this on your car, your wind car, okay, you'll notice that it fits right, if you measured correctly, it fits perfectly in the smaller square. All right, now what you're going to do is you have to put your rigging from your mast down to the booms, all right? So what you're going to do is you take your yarn and you're going to simply slide it through the top part of the mast, and then you're going to bring it down here so that it is completely even, okay? So you have equal amounts on both sides. You don't have to make any knots here, all right? So you take this gray connector, and all you do is you slide the yarn through it like that, okay? And you slide it through it on the other side as well, just like that. And you try to get both sides so they have a equal length on both sides. Then, very carefully, all you do is you pull the yarn into the gray connector, okay? So you don't actually tie anything, you just pull it into the gray connector like so. I hope I'm getting close enough, all right? Then you come over to the other side, which will probably have fallen out by now, and you just slide it back through, and you're just going to pull it right in to the gray connector, just like that, and that will lock it in place. And if you do this correctly, what you get is you get a nice triangle out like that, okay? If your mast is pointing this way or pulling that way, sometimes you can just adjust it. Sometimes you have to loosen things up. You don't want any slack in these. You want them to be nice straight line segments when you're putting this together, all right? So when you're all done, there's your boom and your mast all rigged up. There you go. Yeah, okay. Now, then the next thing that you're going to do is you're going to put this down, all right? And you want to put it down so that this connector, this gray connector, light gray connector, is facing up, okay? And you want to make sure that your string is right here along the smaller triangle. So the perimeter of the smaller triangle and the perimeter of the string and the KNEX parts all line up, all right? Now, the next thing that you're going to do is you're going to use some white glue and you're going to fold each side over and glue it down. Now, you have to be very, very careful with this because if you put too much glue on this tissue paper, it's going to cause the tissue paper to weaken and rip, okay? So you've got to be really, really careful when you do this, all right? Do they have any questions so far, Chris? Hi, all right. Well, we don't have, if you need to, pause the video. Do you need to? Okay, all right. So anyways, when you glue, okay, you don't need to put a lot of glue. It's going to be just a real small, fine amount, and you're just going to kind of let it get out of the glue bottle, just kind of let it slide out very, very easily. And you're going to go from the very tip to the very bottom, okay? The glue, when you glue it out on paper, when you run it out on paper, that's what it will look like, okay? It's not going to look like this. That is too much glue. That is just right. That would be like enough glue for almost a whole entire thing. So if you do this, how do they get rid of that, Chris? If they do this on their hand, yeah. Ah, you're right. You just wipe it on your pants. Yeah, now let the first mate clean it. Anyway, so now that you have your glue on there, all you need to do is very carefully fold the tissue paper over, okay? And you fold it over very gently, just like so, okay? And notice how I only push it down once it's all consistent. Now, when I glue this, okay, it's going to be lumpy and bumpy up here. It's going to be kind of lumpy and bumpy here. But notice how I'm patting, okay? I'm patting it like so, all right? Why should they be patting it? Well, you're right. They should be patting it because if they draw their hands like this, it's going to rip the tissue paper. So you just kind of pat it like that. Now, the glue will probably seep through onto the desk. So you just kind of like move it a little bit like that. Make sure that it hasn't stuck to the desk. Okay, just move it a little bit. All right. Now you're ready to go to the other side. Don't worry about this loose stuff up here. Okay. Then you come to the other side. Hold your tissue paper in place and you put a bead of glue right along the outside edge. Not too much, just enough. And then you go right on out to that end there. Then you repeat the folding over. So you take it, you got this string, you can pull that out of the way, and you fold it over like so, okay? Now, you pat it in place, and this part up here, this junky gunky part, you just kind of like take it and press it together, kind of squeeze it in there. If you have a little bit of glue, you can put it on the end here, fold it down over, just like so. Oops, just like so. And when you do that, what it does is that glue forms a nice solid bond when it dries. It kind of reinforces the corner, all right? So now we have the sides all done, and you kind of move it around. In case it's sticking to your desk, you just kind of like move it, all right? Don't pick it up and do this a whole lot. Don't do that because its glue's not dry. Now the tricky part. Down here at the bottom where you have to kind of like give it a little cut or tear on each side of the white connector, okay? So you're going to very carefully snip it on both sides of the white connector. You could tear it if you don't have scissors because the tear is very easy. And then you simply do each one of those. You glue a little bit at a time. Same amount of glue. Just take it all the way to the end. All right, so you want to get glue all the way to the end, and then you simply fold it up over. Fold it up over like that. If you have anything loose, you can put a little glue here and neaten up your corners by folding things back. Okay. Now, as your hands get sticky, okay, as your hands get sticky, you just kind of like roll them and pull them away gently, okay? And you kind of wipe it on your clothes there, all right? So then pick, you've got it. You can see how that is wrapped there around there, nice tight corner, okay? Then you come to the other side, same situation, okay? Don't worry if you get glue on the plastic parts. Take it, fold it over, just like that. And again, you can neaten it up any way you like over on the corners. I like to just kind of dab some here and there and just fold it into place. Okay, just like so. There we go. There be a good sail, eh? Now, here's the thing. It might be stuck to your desk, so all you need to do is just kind of like push it and slide it. Once it's loose, then you bring it up carefully. Why don't you give them that warning, because they're going to be wanting to do something once they have this. Why don't you tell them, Captain Chris, what they shouldn't do with this once it's done, once it's this far? I'll wait till you tell them. Yes, that's right. Kids, don't be doing this. You're going to want to do that. You're going to want to do this. You're going to want to make it fly like a jet. Don't do that. The glue hasn't dried yet, and it will cause it to break, okay? So now, your sail is ready to go back onto your wind car. Now, putting it back on your wind car, the back of your sail be this side, and the front be this plain side there. There's not much on there, is there? But when you put it on your wind car, the back of your sail goes to the back of the car, and the front goes to the front. It becomes fully adjustable so you can sail a little bit into the wind if you're a really good sailor. All right? So there you have it. There is your wind car. And when you put it out in the wind and catch the gale, you're off and sailing. Alrighty? Okay. Did I miss anything, Captain Chris? What's that? Decorations. Yes, you're right. Once their sail dries, once your glue dries, you can decorate it. Now, decorating it is very, very tricky. Okay? You're going to be allowed to use... Oh, geez. I just lost my boat. You're going to be allowed to use these markers, okay? Now, when you decorate your sail, a couple things are going to happen, okay? The minute you put this wet ink onto your cloth, onto your tissue paper, it is going to weaken the fibers. It's going to bleed through and wick through the fibers of the paper. That's going to weaken it temporarily. But once it dries, it's going to strengthen it, okay? So you have to be really, really careful when you draw. Now, you might decide to just give your boat a fine name like the SS Bad Idea is the name of my boat. The SS Bad Idea. Okay? That's my name. You can't take it now. All right? It's mine. So I have the SS Bad Idea. And I want to give the SS Bad Idea some fancy stripes. So when people look out over the horizon, they know it's me on the water. All right? So I'm going to give myself a nice fancy stripe right across. Now notice how I'm being very, very gentle when I do this. Very, very gentle. Okay? You might even want to take the option of drawing your design first and then gluing it on, but that's up to you, okay? Your teacher will tell you how they want you to handle that, okay? Now, if you want a thick red line, just don't start scrubbing it in. Go very, very lightly and start coloring, okay? Go very, very lightly. You don't want to scrub back and forth because that'll definitely rip your sail, okay? So, And as you do this, you'll see that it's kind of like pixels. They'll begin to fill in and people will see a stripe, okay? Even though there's still some white in there. Now, once you have that done, that's a fine looking stripe. The SS Bad Idea. That's a fine looking vessel. You can do whatever you want. You might want to draw some dolphins or sharks on your sail, okay? Like here's a little shark here coming in here like so. Oh, he's scary. You don't want to, oh, we'll put a smile on his face. There you go. You can draw a little shark on your sail. There you go. And decorate it up a little bit, all right? So, but remember, when you're decorating it, be very, very careful, because these will bleed through and rip your papers, all right, your sailcloth. All right, did I miss anything, Captain Chris, out there? Oh, sail repair. Oh, in case their sail gets damaged in a fine windstorm. Well, that's why you saved this. If you happen to be coloring your sail and you accidentally rip it, okay? Let's just say I accidentally rip my sail somehow, okay? So you got yourself a hole there. You don't want to leave it unattended because a small hole soon becomes a big hole. So you got to put a little patch on there, okay? So all you do is you take some of your sailcloth and you turn your sail over, and then you put a little glue on your patch, spread it around, okay, like so, spread it around, get it on your clothes if you have a whole bunch, you know, just wipe it out, okay, and then you can just put your patch on there like so, and then you let it dry, and nobody knows it had a hole in it, and it's good to go, and you're ready for the high seas. There we go. There you go. And there's your wind car. Now, I'm going to point out a couple things to you. When you take your boat down to the water, make sure you carry it like this. Because if the wind catches your sails unexpectedly, it can blow your boat right out of your hand. So you've got to carry holding it by the bottom and holding it by the top. Don't carry it like that. It'll break and fall off. Alrighty? Okay. So, other than that, did I miss anything? Okay, if I did, I'm sure I'm there. So I'll help them. And that's that. There you go. Have a good time out on the seas and be careful and never sail without a plan.